What's good, fam? Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide, where we talking nothing but this boxing, man. Hey, man, listen, first off, I want to welcome everybody to the channel. And if you're new here, I want you to be here. So think about hitting that subscribe button as we stay knee deep into this boxing conversation, man. From the door, I see my homie Rico Shaw. What's good with you, fam? I appreciate you tuning in, man. Before I begin on yesterday's card, man, I want to enlighten y'all on some breaking news, man. Mikey Garcia has finally signed with Matchroom Boxing, man. Eddie Hearn has finally been able to convince Mikey Garcia to sign with his promotional company, man. We know that Eddie Hearn has been courting Mikey Garcia for over a year. And, he finally got it done. You know what I'm saying? He finally got Mikey Garcia on the team. You understand me? So salute to Eddie Hearn for getting that done. Mikey Garcia put this out on his verified Twitter account, man. He said that he will be fighting, I believe it's February 29th on DAZN / Sky Sports. So, we're looking forward to seeing who his opponent is. Mansour Watson, what's good with you, fam? Appreciate you sliding through, man. But the opponent that I'm looking forward to, well, not looking forward, but the opponent that's most likely for Mikey Garcia to be facing will be Jesse Vargas. It's been rumored that, Mikey Garcia was in negotiations with Jesse Vargas, and I know that Mikey Garcia desperately wants a win before going back, a win at 147 before going back down, man. And Jesse Vargas may be, he may be that guy to do it, man. So again, shout out to Eddie Hearn for finally making this happen. He finally reeled in a big fish in Mikey Garcia. Eddie Hearn has been working nonstop. I know a lot of people dislike Eddie Hearn, but you got to admire Eddie Hearn's work ethic, man. Eddie Hearn be working nonstop, man. And, he's found this is a big signing for him, man. So we'll see what's up with Mikey Garcia and what he brings to DAZN coming in February, man. My man Mansour Watson says, did Mikey get a signing bonus or anything? I'm sure he got something. You know what I'm saying? Mikey's a very smart businessman. He was holding out, for the longest, man. Eddie Hearn been trying to get him for I don't know how long, you know what I'm saying? And he finally got him. So I'm sure he had to open the bag for him, you know what I mean? Rico Shaw says, they say it's going to be one fight deal so far. Eddie Hearn has been, he has been very vocal about, he's not trying to tie fighters down to a long-term contract, that he's willing to make one fight deals, man. And if Mikey Garcia is successful and he liked the business that Eddie Hearn does, man, then, maybe they could go on to something bigger and better. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We will see. Man, Sir Watson said Jesse Vargas is no tune-up. No, he's not, in my opinion, but it's pretty even fight, and I'm hoping Jesse pulls it off, to be honest. Yeah, it's a pretty even fight. Being that Mikey is not a natural 147-pounder, but with that said, Mikey Garcia is still, even though Earl Spence, beat the brakes off him for 12 rounds, but Earl Spence is special. Earl Spence is on another level. So, Mikey Garcia was up against it, man. But what we got to understand is Mikey Garcia is still a hell of a fighter. He is still a pound-for-pound fighter. You understand? And that's a fight that I'll be really intrigued of. You know what I'm saying? I'm really looking forward to that fight, if that's the one that they're going to make. But, I highly suspect that's what they're going to do, man. But we'll see, man. We'll see in the coming couple months, February 29th. But, they said that they'll announce more details soon. So I'm guessing in the next week or two we will have some more details about that, man. Now on to this Top Rank card, man. Top Rank put on a phenomenal card last night, man. And first thing I gotta say is I did not realize that Terrence Bud Crawford had so many haters out there, man. A lot of people hating on Bud, man. But I'm gonna get into that, man. I'm gonna get into that. But before I do, I want to start off with the Conlan Nikitin fight. Light it up. What's good with you, fam? Light it up says Earl Spence is special for beating a lightweight that he couldn't even drop. Okay. Light it up, man. Let me say this to you, brother. Let me say this to you. Like I just told you, Mikey Garcia is special. You know, Mikey Garcia is special. And for Earl Spence to go in there and beat him for 12 single rounds, 12 whole rounds, that says a lot about Earl Spence, you know. And him being not able to drop him or stop him is a testament of just who, in fact, Mikey Garcia is. Like I said, Mikey Garcia is a pound for pound fighter. And you know, when you're in there with the pound for pound fighter, you're not going to be able to do some of the things that you normally do, man. So Earl Spence did not drop Mikey Garcia. He did not, knock him out. No, he did not. You know what I'm saying? But what he did is he beat him convincingly over 12 rounds. You understand me? But I want to talk a little bit about the card last night, man. And we're going to progress into, eventually talking about Terrence Crawford, because I'm a little upset that, all these goddamn Crawford haters is coming out of the woodworks, man. And people just so happy to find anything to nitpick on and try to make a story and run with it. But I'm gonna get to that later. But first, let me start off with Nick Conlan, man. Nick Conlan went up against his former adversary from the Olympics, Nikitin. He's from somewhere in Russia, man. They fought in the 2016 Olympics, where Conlan, a lot of people say that Conlan got robbed, man. Nikitin got the victory, and Conlan, that's when he flipped the bird to all the referees. He was on every news sports channel. He was on every front page sports article for flipping off everybody, man, giving them the finger. You know what I mean, man? Conlan didn't give a damn. He was not happy with their decision. You know what I'm saying? We know the Olympics has been rigged for years and years and years, man. Many fighters have been robbed in the Olympics. Evander Holyfield, Floyd Mayweather, the list goes on, man. And Mick Conlan, he was not able to escape that robbery. Mansur Watson says, I'm hearing a lot of mixed reaction on Bud's performance. Excuse me. Mean Machine was unknown, but that doesn't mean he was a bum. Homie was solid and gave Bud some good work prior to getting stopped. Absolutely, man. Like I said, I'm going to get into that in a minute. But Conlan, he surprised me, you know what I'm saying? Because up until this point, I was not impressed with Conlan, man. He looked it like a below average fighter, you know what I'm saying? And, Top Rank was hyping this guy up like he had a real bright future. I understand he had a big Irish following, and, Top Rank on ride the shit out that way, man. Top Rank always looking for, guys straight out the Olympics, which I think is a good strategy, man. They always try to get, guys that medaled or, Olympic standouts. And they got Conlan, man. You know what I mean? They talked about it on the broadcast, how, Top Rank liked the controversy that Conlan and Nikitin had, and thus, Conlan got revenge, man. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much outboxed Nikitin, man. Although, it was a very good fight. A lot of those rounds were close, but you could tell that although Nikitin came in with a lot of amateur experience, man, he was not prepared at the pro level. You know what I'm saying? We was able to see that, you know what I mean? Conlan was able to outclass him, you were able to see that, but in those middle rounds, man, Nikitin made things interesting when Conlan decided not to box on the back foot, when he decided to, go shoulder to shoulder with Conlan, man. With Nikitin, and Nikitin was able to get off a little bit, but he could not withstand those body shots, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You go down to the breadbasket, man, and it makes everything else real interesting, man. Conlan was able to go down to the breadbasket, and therefore he slowed Nikitin down. You know what I'm saying? Certainly Nikitin didn't have all that steam on them punches that he had earlier on. You understand? That a lot of that steam was taken off from them body shots, man. And had Conlan continued to go to that body, I believe he may have stopped Nikitin. You know what I'm saying? But he got happy head hunting, and he was not able to. He was not able to get in there, man. Stanley Burke, what's good with you, fam? Bud did not get dropped. He was pushed down. Facts 100. I agree with you 100%. I will get to Bud, I promise. But first, I want to talk a little bit about Teofimo Lopez, man. How about that? Huh? Teofimo. He went in there and did what he had to do, man, and got Richard Commey out of there in the second round. I got to admit, I ain't see that coming. I did not see that coming. I thought that Teofimo would win, possibly get the knockout, but I thought it would come later. You know what I'm saying? My first glimpse of Richard Commey was when he fought Robert Easter Jr., and that was a tough, rough fight, man. You know what I mean? But Robert Easter, he's no Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? His power is not, is not nothing special. You know what I'm saying? And Commey was hurt by Robert Easter and hurt pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that if Lopez was able to touch him and touch him good, that he would be able to get his ass up out of there. You know what I'm saying? But I did not expect, man. I did not expect it to be the second round, man. Shout out to Teofimo Lopez, man. He went out there and he did the goddamn thing, man. I gotta admit, man, Mr. Cheesehead, my fam, what's good with you, fam? He says, nah, Bud did not touch the canvas and came back like a true champ. Absolutely, fam. But Teofimo, man, I gotta admit, you know what I'm saying? Teofimo, I like Teofimo. I like his style. I like his aggressiveness. I like his punching power. It's his dad that I can't rock with, man. His dad is just an ignorant ass dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Always running his mouth. You could see through the build up to this fight, you know what I mean? When the media was trying to interview Teo, the father kept jumping in, you know what I'm saying, giving his 2 cents. And I could see that, Teo was getting a little frustrated with him, man. Like, shut up, man. Shut up. I got this. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's getting sick of his father, man. You know what I'm saying? But he loves him. You know what I mean? He appreciates him, but he's getting tired of him. And proof of that is him bringing in, what's his name? Eddie Gamache, who used to be a 2-time champion, if I ain't mistaken, man. He also trained Tyson Fury's last opponent, Otto Wallin, man. Gamache was in there to, steady the ship a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Cut out some of that craziness that Lopez Sr. brought to the camp, man. He need to sit down and shut up sometime. You know what I mean? Or it's going to be a situation like, De La Hoya and his father, like Sugar Shane and his father, like so many other father and sons duos that came up in the past where their father just did too much and eventually turned the son off, man. And the son had to separate himself from his father, you know what I mean? And the father, had to come to the realization that, you're not the star, man. You're not the fighter. You're not the one that's getting in there and fighting. And I think Teofimo Lopez Sr., man, he needs to sit his old ass down, you know what I mean, and let the young boy shine. You know what I'm saying? Some of those interviews look like the dude was drunk or high or some shit. I mean, he was talking crazy, non-stop yelling and spitting in the camera, and you know what I'm saying? I wasn't feeling that, man. I wasn't feeling that. But, and that's going to turn a lot of people against Teofimo Lopez. There was some talk about how, Senior was in some sparring sessions and said some racial things, you know what I'm saying, said, some racial terms that turned a lot of brothers off, you know what I mean? And a lot of people don't rock with him because of that. You understand me? But, if Teo is able to separate himself from his father, if he's able to get his father to sit his ass down a little bit, man, I think Teo can become that superstar that, it seems that he's destined to be. Can he beat Lomachenko? You know what I'm saying? Can he, in fact, take out the pound for pound king, one of them anyway, in Lomachenko. Now we all agree that Lomachenko is, you know what I'm saying, slowing down slightly. We can all see it. You know what I'm saying? But Lomachenko is on another level, man. He is in another gear than a lot of these fighters, man. But Lomachenko's getting touched up a little bit more these days. You understand me? And Teofimo, with the power he has in both hands, man. You know, I seen Luke Campbell hurt Vasily Lomachenko. I seen Jorge Linares drop and buzz Lomachenko. And Linares or Campbell does not have the power, nowhere near the power that Teofimo has, man. Now, does Lomachenko have the ability to go in there and outbox Teofimo? Absolutely, man. But he can get caught. We see him can get hurt, man. Let me see what's up with the chat, man. What we got here, man? Mr. Cheesehead. Okay, I seen that. Stanley Burke says he touched the canvas, but his arm was pulled down. He wasn't hurt. Rod Ramon, what's good with you, fam? Appreciate you sliding through. Stanley Burke says, yes, like Danny Garcia. The homie Mansour Watson says, Commey did good in the first round, fighting behind the jab, and then came out in the second round being too aggressive. I thought he would go for mid to late rounds, but Commey got too aggressive too soon, and bam! Lights out. Mr. Cheesehead says, LOL, yeah, what's up with these fighters' pops, always making the sons look bad. It's crazy, man. Sit your ass down. Stanley Burke says they living through their sons. SMH. Yeah, shaking my head. No doubt, man. Elver Goda, what's good with you, fam? He says, I thought Lopez would win, but I didn't think it would be so easy. Me either, man. Me either. Stanley Burke says, I think Tank beats them both, big face, no doubt. Now, Stanley Burke, I like that comment you just said, fam. I like that comment. For everybody that's following my channel, y'all know I'm a huge Tank Davis fan, man. And, you know, Stanley Burke just hit the nail on the head with that one, man. He says, you know, I think Tank beats them both. No question. I agree with you, fam. I agree with you. Don't get Mansour Watson started, though, man. I ain't trying to be arguing with him. It's Sunday. I just want to come on here and do a quick live, man, and, you know what I'm saying, talk to the fight fans. You know, Mr. Cheese here says, I don't know. I like his chances. Lopez definitely has power. Loma has the resume of power punches, though. No doubt, no doubt. Elver Goda says Lopez is too big, too young, and too strong. Lopez is going to end Lomachenko's hype train. It's possible, man. It's possible, but to be 100% honest, I was hoping it was going to be Tank. You know what I mean? I was hoping that Tank would get a hold of Lomachenko first because, like I said, we have all seen Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko is definitely on his way out. You know what I mean? He's definitely slowing down. And one of these young boys, man, whether it be Tio or whether it be Tank, one of them going to get Lomachenko's ass, man. I believe it. And Loma said in a broadcast last night, he said he wanted a unification fight with Tio, which he expects to win. And then he said he wants Gervonta Davis. So Gervonta Davis is definitely on his mind, is definitely on Bob Arum's mind. And, you know, Leonard Ellerbe made it no secret that, you know, with Tank's fight in a couple weeks, that they have a huge announcement, man. And I'm really, really hoping that announcement is Tank versus Loma sometime early next year, man. But listen, man, all y'all in here, man, don't forget to hit the like button for the fam. I would definitely appreciate it, man. But now we're going to talk about the fight that everybody wants to talk about, the fight that got the whole YouTube community blowing up. Everybody seems to want to talk about, and that is Terrence Crawford versus the Mean Machine Egis Kavaliauskas. Now, I didn't realize that Terrence Crawford had so many haters. You know what I mean? I did not realize it, man. All these dudes coming out the woodwork is just hating on Terrence Crawford, something fierce. You know what I'm saying? And it's disgusting. You know, it's disgusting, man. Stanley Burke says, I hope Haney's heals soon. 135 looking like the new glamour division. It's the top-ranked side of the street, no question. Mansour Watson said, it's messed up how Lopez got married and his pops was the only family member that attended the wedding on his side. His fam should support and be happy for him. They hurt him more than Commey did, no doubt, no doubt. Elver Goda says, Tank's handlers still have the training wheels on them. If they don't believe in Tank, I can. I think them wheels is coming off, fam. I think this is the last fight that we're gonna see them training wheels on, man. I think that they finally gonna let the wheels come off after the Gamboa fight, but we'll see. But I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. Terrence Crawford, man, he came out there and he did what he had to do. And you know what I'm saying, a lot of people, they let their love for Earl Spence Jr. cloud, feel their hate for Bud Crawford. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a fan of Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. I keep telling these jokers that, man. You know what I mean? You could be a fan of both guys. You don't have to hate on Bud just because you rock with Earl Spence. I like both the dudes, man. And I'm going to call it like I see it with both of them, man. I like Earl Spence. I like Terrence Crawford. I like both of them a lot. But I'm not going to simply hate on Bud Crawford because I like Earl Spence. And that's what a lot of these dudes is doing, man. And it's just sickening how I go down my YouTube timeline, down my Twitter timeline, and I see all these dudes just ecstatic that they think that Terrence Crawford got dropped. I mean, it was obvious that, Mean Machine caught him with a shot. But in between him catching with a shot and him hitting the canvas, you know what I'm saying, they went into a little clinch, man. And, Bud was grabbing him going forward. Kavaliauskas was going back and moved out the way. And therefore, Bud's glove touched the canvas. You know what I'm saying? But Bud, he got right back up and went straight to Mean Machine. So it's evident that he wasn't hurt. It's evident that he was still in control of the fight. Yes, Mean Machine was tougher than maybe a lot of people thought. You know what I'm saying? But I keep telling these dudes, these jokers, over and over and over, just because you don't know a fighter, that don't make him a bum, man. That don't make him a bum. Just because a fighter had one or two bad showings, that don't make him a bum. You know what I mean? Sometimes fighters fight to the level of their competition, and then they fight, whether it's down or up. And obviously, the Mean Machine came in with a totally different game plan than we usually see him with, man. You know what I'm saying? Normally, we see Mean Machine being very aggressive, throwing a lot of punches, being a little sloppy with his punches. But last night, he knew it was the fight of his life. He knew it was the opportunity of a lifetime to not only become WBO welterweight champion, but to dethrone who many got pound for pound number one. You know what I'm saying? What would it look like to have that scalp on your resume? You understand me? And, Igor Kavaliauskas, he was trying to take advantage of that. So he came out with a totally different game plan that definitely caught Bud off guard. You know what I'm saying? So Bud had to be the aggressor. Bud had to initiate the action. And in doing so, Mean Machine landed some very, very beautiful right hands, you know what I'm saying, that caught Bud by surprise. But the warrior in Bud, the pound for pound king and Bud, you know what I'm saying, all that did is made Bud want to fight more, Of course, we would like to see him, box a little bit more on the outside. Well, a lot of people would like to see him fight a little bit more on the outside and, be a little bit more strategic. But no, man, he wanted to show the fight fans that, yeah, I can take a punch and I can also be entertaining. You know what I mean? So, yes, he got hit with a little bit more right hands than we usually see him get hit with, but he dominated dude, man. He beat him up, broke him down, and got him out of there. And that's what pound for pound fighters do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear nobody saying anything a couple years ago when weak ass Amir Khan, was outboxing Canelo for 4 or 5 rounds. I didn't hear nobody saying that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear nobody saying that your Dennis Ugas, gave Sean Porter a life or death fight. You know what I'm saying? Your Dennis Ugas is a guy who comes in with a couple losses, who got a loss to Emir Iman, a guy who got whooped by Adrian Granados. You know what I'm saying? He lost a unanimous decision to Emir Iman. You know what I'm saying? So people got to keep it consistent. You know what I'm saying? This is the fight game. You are a fighter. You're going to get hit with some punches. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get hit. But in no point in that fight did Bud look out of control. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he was in control the whole fight. He got hit with some punches. Yeah, it's a fight. You're going to get hit. But Bud took control like he always do in the fight. You know what I'm saying? He always, you know what I'm saying, end up taking control of his opponent, beating him down, battering and bruising him, and getting him out of here. You understand? Let's see what the chat's talking about, man. Elver Gota said, thanks. Tank's been fighting blown up super bantamweights and featherweights. Mansur Watson said, Bud has me on the edge of my seat, bro. I was fussing and cussing Bud through the screen. I agree with Ward on how he performed, but Bud still did the damn thing. It was an action-packed fight, no question. Stanley Burke says, exactly, Big Face. Smash the like button and subscribe, everyone. I appreciate that, Stanley Burke, man. I definitely appreciate that. I agree, Mansur Watson. This was similar to Spence versus Porter dynamic, with Spence fighting Porter's fight and winning. Exactly. Elver Goda says U.S. boxing fans seem to have trouble giving unknown fighters credit. That's what I just said, fam. You hit the nail on the head. Crawford fought a mandatory challengers. These days, there are 4 world champions, and they can defend their titles against the top 15. Mansur Watson says there's channels out there all of a sudden betting money on Porter beating Bud. Laugh out loud. One channel made a 2-hour plus video talking about Bud got dropped. These dudes are in the 30s and 40s hating. It's unbelievable, man. It is unbelievable. And this one guy, I'm not going to name him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to name him, but he is definitely a clown of the town. You hear me? I've been wanting to put him on blast, man, but I'm not going to do it because I respect, some of his, comrades, man. You know what I'm saying? I respect some of his comrades. We got a relationship, man. So therefore, I'm not going to take this guy scout, man. But he's a clown, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a clown. He seems to hate on Bud at every opportunity, man. He goes out his way to make these diss videos, man. He calls Bomac out. You know what I'm saying? It's a shame, man. It's a shame, man. This guy's over 40 years old, man, and he got nothing better to do than to hate on a man that, you know what I'm saying, that wouldn't give him an interview. You understand me? Wouldn't give him an interview, so, he turned all his attention and all his hate towards this guy. This guy ain't got to give you no interview, man. He don't trust you. He know that you want some shaky clickbait shit, that you just want to take this opportunity to get some views, man. And he knows that. So he don't want to give you the time of day. Sit your ass down somewhere, fam. You know what I mean? I ain't going to mention the dude's name, but it's crazy. Elver Goda says, I pick Porter over Crawford. Stanley Burke says, you think Bud made himself look vulnerable just to lure PBC? You know what? I don't know, but I hope that's the case. I hope they now think Bud is sweet and come on over across that street, but you better look both ways, motherfucker. You better look both ways, you know what I'm saying, before you get smacked by a bus or something, man. Mr. Cheesehead says Crawford over any welterweight, in my opinion. No doubt. Stanley Burke, what's good with you, fam? Man, Stanley Burke got his eyes on the prize, man. Mr. Cheesehead says PBC's scary when it comes to Bud. Yeah, they don't want to mention them in their telecast. They don't want to, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to acknowledge the WBO. And, it's a shame. It's a shame, man. Stanley Burke, man, I like Stanley Burke, man. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. Stanley Burke, he's a big supporter, man. I'm gonna go ahead, man, and give my man Stanley Burke that blue wrench, man. You know what I'm saying? Stanley Burke, you are now one of the big faces, man, in the world. You understand me, man? I appreciate your support, fam. And I hopefully, you know what I'm saying, you continue rocking with your guy, Big Faces Worldwide, man. But I wonder what's next for Bud. Is he going to fight Terrence Crawford? I mean, is he going to fight Sean Porter? Is he going to fight Sean Porter? That seems to be rolling out of Bob Arum's mouth, you know what I'm saying, more than usual, man. So I think, you know what I'm saying, it may be in the works, you know what I'm saying. I'm very interested in that fight. I'm very interested in seeing how, Terrence Crawford is going to be able to handle Sean Porter's aggressive style. Because I ain't going to lie, man, Sean Porter impressed me in that Earl Spence fight, man. You know what I'm saying? He impressed me with his heart. He impressed me with his determination. And he impressed me with his will to win. Sean Porter wasn't playing no games, man. He wanted to win that fight, man. He wanted to win that fight already, Stanley Burke. No question about it, fam. My man Mansour Watson said Bud wasn't trying to box Mean Machine. He fought him for 9 rounds. Mean Machine versus Danny or Porter would have been action-packed as well. Mean Machine hopefully get more chances. No doubt. No doubt. Mean Machine showed his worth, man. Like I was telling dudes on the lead up to this fight, Mean Machine is undefeated, man. Mean Machine has a long amateur pedigree. 2-time Olympian, man. Mean Machine knows how to box. You know what I'm saying? Knows how to box, man. And sometimes fighters fight to the level of competition. And Ray Robinson, you know what I'm saying, ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. You know what I mean? So, you know, maybe he couldn't get up for Ray Robinson. But I tell you what, he was able to get up for Bud Crawford. You know, he was able to get up for Bud Crawford. Stanley Burke says in an interview he kind of dismissed it. Yeah, I did hear that. Like he didn't really want to acknowledge it, man. So I'm not sure where that fight goes, man. I've heard Kenny Porter say it. I've heard Bob Arum say it, but I haven't really heard Terrence Crawford or Sean Porter really commit to the fight. I haven't heard them really say, you know, this is what they want to do. You know what I mean? Mr. Cheese here said Porter always gives a good account of himself all the time. You know what I'm saying? There's no fight that Sean Porter was in that you know what I'm saying, you didn't have questions at the end. You know what I'm saying? The clearest victory against Sean Porter, in my opinion, was Kell Brook. And that was still a close victory. But I think, you know, that was a couple years ago. Sean Porter wasn't as seasoned as he is now. Wasn't as polished as he is now. And, you know, it showed. It showed in that fight, man. My man Elver Goda says Crawford is a small welterweight, and it showed yesterday. Yeah. It definitely showed. But in my opinion, man, I think Crawford did his thing. I thought Crawford did his thing. You know what I'm saying? His performance last night, man, takes nothing away from what I thought about Crawford. I still think that Crawford is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And, you know what I'm saying, he got caught with some right hands. But in the end, he was able to figure his opponent out. He was able to dismantle him. He was able to beat him down and get him out of there, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of upset that the referee didn't let him get the clean knockout. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see the Mean Machine on his back. I wanted to see him, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to stop that way, but I'll take it. I didn't want to stop that way, but I'll take it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, for those of y'all coming in a little late, man, I started off the stream giving y'all some breaking news that Mikey Garcia has signed a 1-fight deal to Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing. He will be on their broadcast February 29th for an opponent to be announced. I was saying that I thought that opponent will be Jesse Vargas, but that's not 100%. Details to soon follow. Stanley Burke says, do you think they will make Spence a champion in recess? They might, man. They might. There was something that caught me off guard, man, and that was Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? The Devin Haney just won a title, you know what I'm saying, and he had just had some type of surgery on his shoulder, and the next day or two, they announced that he was the champion in recess. I didn't get that. Excuse me. I didn't get that. You know what I mean? I got a lot of conspiracy theories about that, man. One is that, you know, Devin Haney was not happy with all of the backlash about, you know, Devin Haney's a prideful young guy, man. He's 21 years old. He's prideful. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a real big star to be. You know what I'm saying? And it hurt his pride a little bit that a lot of people were saying, even fighters, media, everybody saying that he did not win that title in the ring. So I think that Devin Haney You know what I'm saying? He had no problem with being champion in recess. You know what I'm saying? He said, okay, I'll take that. Let them go ahead and fight it. This way, I can come back and win my belt in the ring. So nobody can say they gave me nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my conspiracy theories. Another one is that they had a fight coming up with Javier Fortuna, and maybe Bill Haney, Team Haney, maybe they figured that, hey man, we just struggled with this guy the last fight. Maybe maybe we're not ready. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we ain't ready for the fight a awkward, rough Javier Fortuna. You know what I mean? So we'll take this we'll take this champion and recess thing, man. I don't know, man. But the thing is kind of fishy that they would do this. The WBC will do this quick. I mean, it happened in a matter of 1 or 2 days. And you have Earl Spence, you know what I'm saying? He was in a car crash. You know what I'm saying? His future is uncertain. And you didn't hear that come out of their mouth for him. You know what I'm saying? It just blows my mind that Fox has all these shows, these PBC broadcasts, and all these outlets, and it's kind of peculiar that we have not seen Earl Spence on none of them. You know what I'm saying? You would think that Earl Spence would come on and say something to let his fans know he's okay, that he's on the road to recovery. But instead, we get dead silence. You know what I'm saying? So that leaves room for speculation. That leaves room for people to make up what they want to make up. You know what I'm saying? And thus, we got all these different stories. You got Bob Arum coming out talking about he heard Earl Spence ain't coming back no time soon. And, you know what I mean? All this talk right there, man. It could be a couple things, man. It could be that, maybe his face ain't healing the way he wanted to heal. Maybe he's a little uncomfortable with getting in front of the camera right now. And that's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he want to, get the necessary surgeries to fix his face, you know what I'm saying, to be able to come back and get in front of the camera. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. But it's kind of strange that, you know what I'm saying, it's been that happened back in October, November, December. It's been 2 months and, almost 2 months, and we have not seen Earl Spence Jr. We have not heard anything directly connected to his injury or to the status of his condition, you know what I'm saying, from himself. We hearing everybody else put their 2 cents in, saying this and saying that, but we have not heard Earl Spence come out and say, anything at all, man. And I think that's a little strange. I think that's a little peculiar. And, I think he needs to do so, man. Let me see what's up in the chat, man. I'm a little bit backed up, man. Where we at? Elver Gota says, Brooke was hitting and holding Porter repeatedly. Yep. Brooke fought an extremely dirty fight against Porter. He did. He definitely did. I ain't going to take that away. Mansur Watson says, one channel was making Mean Machine or out to be a complete bum. Called him green beans, compared to him to Spence's opponent, Ocampo, which is crazy. Ocampo wasn't an Olympian, and he didn't have the skill set. Exactly. And he didn't have the resume, man. Like I said, Mean Machine, they got me calling him Green Machine. Mean Machine had over 300 amateur fights. 2-time Olympian, undefeated. Ocampo was 21 years old? He was a pup, man. He was a pup. And he caught Earl Spence with some nice straight hands in that first round. You know what I'm saying? So don't act like Earl didn't get touched up a little bit. Like, he did what he had to do, but don't act like he didn't get touched up a little bit, man. My man Stanley Burke says, that's crazy. Teofimo called him a punk or weak for that post-fight. Called who? I missed that. Who Teofimo called that? Called who punk or weak for that post-fight? I missed that, fam. Who called that? Mansur Watson says they did the right thing by making Haney champion in recess because it's going to be a while before he comes back. They should have did the same thing to Spence, in my opinion, man. Yeah. But I see the way they look at it. Spence is he's more of a star than at this point than Devin Haney. So they, you know what I'm saying, they looking at them future percentages that they're going to get, from his title defenses. And I think that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the difference. where we at? El Vergota says Spence couldn't get close to a Campo until we started landing those low blows. Spence also low blow Porter repeatedly. Yeah, that Porter fight was like, damn, is Spence doing this shit on purpose? I mean, some of them blows was crazy. I mean, it was so blatant. It was so blatant. El Vergota says, no, Stanley Burke says, like he's ducking Fortuna or something. I agree, man. So, no, I'm not saying he's ducking him. I'm just saying with the performance, I can't think of dude's name. With Devin Haney's last performance that he fought on the Logan Paul KSI thing, you know what I'm saying? It was sort of like the same thing we're talking about now, where people didn't know his opponent, so they automatically thought he was a bum, and yet he gave Devin Haney a more challenging fight than people thought he should have. You know what I'm saying? But Devin Haney clearly won. I believe every round. You know what I'm saying? Clearly outboxed him, but he had more trouble than people thought. So automatically people start hating and start talking shit. You know what I mean? But Fortuna, ain't nobody raising a hand and jumping out the bit to fight Fortuna. You know what I'm saying? I think Devin Haney beats the brakes off of Fortuna, but I think it would be a ugly fight. Fortuna's a dirty fighter, man. You know what I'm saying? He headbutts, elbows, grapples, and he gets in there, you know what I'm saying, and does a lot of veteran tactics, you know what I'm saying, that, may surprise the young Devin Haney. Devin Haney is a fucking beast, is a phenomenon, man. He's going to be something special, you know what I'm saying? But, I don't think he's in a rush to go into a fight with a guy like Fortuna right now. You know what I'm saying? I think he will. I think he would, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think he's, you know what I'm saying, eager or in a rush to do so. We'll see. We'll see, though, man. El Vergota says if Spence doesn't come back within a year, he's never going to be the same. He turned pro way too late. Stanley Burke says, remember the WBC allowed Keith Thurman a mandatory shot at the WBC for recess. Keith Thurman, they kind of forced him to vacate his title. You know what I'm saying? They allowed him to vacate it, but if he didn't vacate, they was gonna strip him. You know what I'm saying? And Keith Thurman, I think he still got that card in the back of his pocket where he can challenge for that WBC title when he's ready. You know what I'm saying? The WBC, they giving him that trump card. Oh, Devin Haney. Okay, I got you, fam. Mansur Watson says, yes, Santiago was his name. Yep, Santiago, you're right. Stanley Burke says, no, that's what Tio said about Devin. I got you, fam. Tio said that about Haney post-fight. I got you, fam. I know what you're saying. Mr. Cheese here says, push that like button, fam. Hit that like button for me, man. I appreciate it. Man, Sir Watson said, the sanctioning body's not making Spence a champ in recess. Is holding up the division. Make it so he can come right back and get a title shot. But don't hold up the division like Thurman did. Yeah, man. Thurman, like, I'll be the first to say I was a huge Thurman fan. I'm still a Thurman fan. But at the time of Thurman's, when Thurman was on top, that was my favorite welterweight. You know what I'm saying? One time, KOs for life. I was rocking with Thurman hard. You know what I mean? And Thurman, he held up the division, man, because Sean Porter was waiting. He wanted the rematch. Danny Garcia wanted the rematch. You know what I mean? Terrence Crawford wanted to fight Thurman. Earl Spence wanted to fight Thurman. Everybody wanted a shot at Thurman, so they wasn't willing to get in and fight each other, man. But once Thurman vacated that WBC, that allowed Porter and Garcia to get in there and mix it up, and thus we had, all these other fights, man. So, Mansour got a point, man, that, maybe they should make Earl Spence champion in recess. If he's not going to come back in the first quarter of 2020, then I think that needs to be done, man. You understand me? I think that needs to be done. But listen, man, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. I just wanted to get on here and do a quick live stream on a Sunday. I wanted to talk about the aftermath of Top Ranks card. I think they did a hell of a job, man. I think, every fight was competitive, entertaining, and I think Teofimo, stole the night like a lot of people thought he would with that second round knockout of Richard Commey, man. That was the perfect right hand. You know what I'm saying? Commey was throwing a shot at the same time. T.O. ducked under that and was able to catch Commey with a devastating right hand, man, and that's all she wrote. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Stanley Burke, Harrison versus Charlo too. That's another fight I'm chomping at the bit about, man. That's just going down next week. I believe it's going down in Ontario, California. And to be honest with you, man, I see Charlo pulling this one out, man. I see him pulling this one out. It just doesn't seem that Tony Harrison is as hungry as he was for the first fight. He's you know what I'm saying, seemed like he's a little content and happy with just being able to beat Charlo the first time, being able to become world champion. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? That may be just my opinion, but we'll see. Tony Harrison can definitely fight. He's proved that time and time again. But he's been known to run out of gas. Fortunately, he was ready to and gassed up against Charlo, and he didn't run out of gas, man. And he was able to, work off the back foot, and catch Charlo with some clean counter shots, man. That definitely appeased the judges. The judges loved them counter shots, and Charlo was too anxious trying to knock him out. The way he's acting, it don't seem like he's going to change his style much in the rematch. Derrick James was kind of pressing him to be more aggressive, more aggressive, when I think he would have fared better with boxing more. But I think he's going to come out with the same game plan, and that is to hurt Tony Harrison and knock Tony Harrison out. And I think he might get there. I think he might do it. But I'm not counting Tony Harrison out. I will do some more videos this week leading up to the fight with a thorough breakdown of what I think about the fight. Mansur Watson says Thurman's nickname is One Time, and now it seems he was a top fighter at one time. He knocked fighters out once upon a time, and it seems like we want to see him again. Nobody's talking about Thurman. You're right. It's like he's a forgotten soul, man. A forgotten soul. My man Stanley Burke says, I got Harrison. I think Harrison will outbox him again. It's possible. Like I said, Harrison's a beast. You know what I'm saying? He's a beast, man. Watchman, Akbad, what's good with you, fam? Mikey Garcia signed with the Zone. Thoughts? Yeah, Mike, Watchman, man, I talked about that a little earlier, man. Unfortunately, I'm about to get up out of here, man. But, the good thing is, man, you can go and catch this on the playback. I talked all about that, man. I busted up with the members in the chat, and everybody gave their opinion on that, man. But I think it's a good signing. Man. But yeah, check me out on the replay. Hit the like button if you're not subscribed. I will hope you would subscribe. Mr. Cheesehead says I got Harrison too, but this is boxing. We never know till it's over. You are absolutely correct, man. But listen, man, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all sliding through. Like I always say, if you're new here, I want you to be here. So think about hitting that subscribe button as we stay knee deep into this boxing conversation, man. But in the meantime and in between time, stay blessed and keep on supporting this sport that we love called boxing.